We have the experience for more than 35 years. So if you need a paint job, call us. If the roof is talking to you, call us. If your garage won't open, call us. If you need a new paint job, call us. If you try to do the work yourself and your wife won't talk to you, call us. 914-665-0106. Quick Link Construction. No job too big, no job too small. Just call us. 914-665-0106. 914-665-0106. We have the experience. Quick Link Construction.
Are you struggling with weight loss? We have the solution. The Gut Buster package.
It's like I couldn't come up my step without like holding on and, breathing short. Mm-hmm. And then some of my clothes, I couldn't wear them for a good time.
So you was overweight, you had no energy.
Overweight.
Gut Busters.
I gave my son some. Mm-hmm. He was losing his belly too. Mm-mm. And I mean, this gentleman, if you ever see his belly, he has no more tummy. I have none.
So your tummy's gone too?
My God.
Go, mommy. Go, mommy.
The Gut Busters. To get the Gut Buster package, 917-533-2576. 917-533-2576. Log on to www.yonniemarket.com. That's YONNIEMARKET.com.
CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Dine-in or takeout available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We're open Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Sundays, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. On Fridays and Saturdays, our seafood weekend starts from 11 o'clock. Check out our extensive breakfast and lunch menu. For breakfast, we have ackee and saltfish, corned beef and cabbage, callaloo and saltfish, corned beef and macaroni, liver or kidney, curry chicken back, brown stew chicken back, cook up saltfish, salt mackerel. Also check out our lunch specials: oxtail, cow foot, stew pork, tripe and beans, stew peas, jerk pork, jerk chicken, fried chicken, stew chicken, barbecue ribs, curry chicken, curry goats, pepper steak, escovitch fish, brown stew fish, and roast fish, jerk pork with bread, jerk chicken with bread. Plus, we have catering services available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We also have delivery services with Uber and DoorDash. Check us out on Instagram at CB_Jerk Center. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon.
Lovebird Records presents the newly released tribute album from Keith Cole entitled Rock With Me.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
It's 13 tracks, including the astute cover of Delroy Wilson's Who Cares?
Who cares? Who is right or wrong? Right.
Keith Cole also sings homage to Jabi Bunny Wailer.
How does it feel to have been on the ballroom floor?
This newly released 13-track tribute album is readily available in record stores and on all digital platforms. It's the brand new album Rock With Me from Keith Cole. Pick up a copy today and help play tribute to these icons in reggae music.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby. Yeah.
Honey, I just get a call from Mama again. She told me she haven't received the barrel as yet. Which shipping company do you use to send it off?
Last year, no. I want to do now.
You say, honey, you drink too much? I bet if you hear mother, you'd use the right company.
Simpson's Shipping Enterprise. Weekly sailing to all destinations. In Jamaica, they go to Kingston and Montego Bay. Also ship to Europe and South America, East Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. We offer door-to-door service to Jamaica, Guyana, and England. Simpson's Shipping Enterprise, 17 Mount Vernon Avenue, New York. Telephone 914-663-9216 or 914-663-9218.
Yeah, go on like a yeah, mama. You feel me, mama? I remember telling something. You used to Simpson's Shipping, then go Jamaica, Kingston, and Montego Bay, all over over the Caribbean Island.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
Oh, they play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
I don't know Junex I represent for Linkage Radio. 104.5 FM. I def them.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
This is Lady D, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com.
Cooler Runnings Restaurant, in association with the Cargill Community Project, presents our annual Customer and Community Appreciation Day 2023 to be held at Cooler Runnings Restaurant, 1802 Nerid Avenue in the Bronx, from 12 p.m. until 7 p.m. with live broadcast on Future FM Radio 98.9 FM, music by DJ Ray Ray.
Live performances by Imani Tyson, Minister Andrea Derrett, Ras Bones, J Bez. Also 3 bands, Island Steel, Soul Jam, and Jenna Roots. Hosted by the dynamic duo, Patrick Tyson and yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez.
This event is powered by Future FM Radio 98.9 FM, Gospel Showcase Radio NYC, and Inside the Zone with Lady D.
Sponsored by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, Cargill Community Project,
Bronxwood International Church of God, Dirty Gloves, CJ Robbins Real Estate, Irie Dale,
and Chefy 2 Restaurant. Bring the family. It's Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant and Cargill Community Project Annual Customer and Community Appreciation Day on Saturday, June 10 from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Make it a date and you better not be late.
See you there.
Monday, 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 Monday. 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 I say Monday. Another beautiful day here in the Northeast. It is a pleasure to be broadcasting in your homes, in your offices, in your motor cars, in your barbershops, your corner stores, your beauty salons, your restaurants, and on your social media platforms. Hey everybody, I'm Lady D, Denise Gomez. How wanna do, how wanna do? What a guan, what a guan. What's up, what's up, what's up? I am your producer and presenter of Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Broadcasting on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM, on the TuneIn app, on the Cast for You, and so many more. Hello, everybody. I'm also broadcasting on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. And of course, on Fit 96.7 FM, fitfmja.com. Your life, your music. In Duncan's Trelawney. What's going on in Duncan's Trelawney? How to do in Duncan's Trelawney? Send me an email. I'd like to hear from you. Inside the Zone NYC@gmail.com. Who is hearing my voice? Drop me an email. Say, hey, Lady D, I'm from Duncan's Trelawney, and I listen to you every Monday. It's a good day. It's called Monday. We call it Monday. Blessings, blessings, everybody. I'm here today, sounding way better than I did for the last few days. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities: family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, real estate, life and health insurance, and food insecurity on a Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linkage Radio here in Mount Vernon, New York. It's another edition of the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know. In the city you walk, drive, and reside. Where are you walking? Where do you rest your head at nights? I'd like to know. Thanks to my sponsor, I was over there on Saturday in the rain. A rain came down. Me say a rain come down. The rain came down, and I hustled across the street, got out of the car and hustled across the street. Oh my gosh. But thankfully, the fish, I have to call Soji. I haven't called him yet. I don't know who did the escovitch fish from. I've been having fish at Cooler Runnings Jamaican restaurant at 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. It was the best tasting fish. Oh my God. So I eat the total fish. When I'm done, nothing is left except dust. That's how I eat the fish. And I'm telling you, it was so seasoned. I was like, kind of doing it in layers so I wouldn't eat it off too fast. It was good. And I think they got the support, rain or no rain. Those are my sponsors for you. Keisha and Soji, Patrick Tyson, and the crew. Please stop by Cooler Runnings and let them know Lady D sell off. She talked about the fish fry. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. 90 minutes after 5 o'clock. Coming up, we have the Monday Beat, chasing the Monday Blues out of here with great music. Today's selections are jazz. It's Jazz Music Monday. And in community and immigration updates, affidavit of support. That is what Trudy Ann is going to talk about. Lady Trudy Ann. And in What's Inside the Zone today, a little child shall lead them. Akeef Nugent, you've heard about him, the youth advisor, that young boy from Cockburn Pen in Jamaica. Well, his interests are in the areas of entertainment, sports, and education. So I'm going to be featuring an interview they had with him. And I'm trying to get him on my show, you know. Yep. Keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts at 6 p.m. this evening. And in Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking, Stafford Grant, retired corporal of the Jamaica Defense Force, the JDF, and chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast Region Citizen Security. Stafford is no stranger to the platform, but this evening, he's alone, he's on his own. So we'll be talking. 21 minutes after 5 o'clock. Take it down, Lady D. It's about time we start dancing a little bit. So I'm so pleased to be back here. Somebody asked me if I was crying. I was talking to them and said, Lady D, you're crying? I'm like, no, my throat is just bad. It was just so... Ew. You know, they use the term sand dog. Like when they said... Oi. I sounded like when they sanded the dog, you know. Seriously, when I get this, it's so bad. My voice just can't, I don't sound like myself. I'm still a little nasal, but I'm fine other than that. So it's a pleasure being here at 21 minutes after 5 o'clock. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. Good evening, everybody. To those of you who are streaming with me this evening on... What is it called again? Inside the Zone on the YouTube channel. Please don't stay over there by yourselves. Please spread the word. Let someone know Inside the Zone on the YouTube channel is on. I'd love to see you. I'd love to talk to you. 914-600-4228. Our telephone number 914-600-4228. I'm ready for some music. Reminding you, it is Jazz Music Monday. Alrighty, so we are going to be getting on with this evening. We're not going to be having any glitches of any kind, but I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. It is the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know. In the city you walk, drive, and reside. That's what I'm talking about. The light in the room captures my vision too. And there's something about the way I feel like I'm hypnotized. When you enter my space, puts my world out of place. I can't help it, I can't get out. You now, I can't hold it, I gotta shout, that I want you, I'm saying loud. I can't help it, I can't get out, can't take it, I can't take it, I need you now. I can't hold it, I gotta shout, that I want you, I say it loud. There's something about the way you, I feel like a walking dream. I don't know what to say, but I can't turn away. Baby, I can't turn away. Oh, I'm losing my reflection in all these echoes of gray. And I'm losing my way in the moves that you make. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Okay.
Can't take it, I need you now. I can't hold it, I gotta shout that I want you. can't hold it, I gotta shout that I want you, I say it loud.
5:25 p.m. It's Jazz Music Monday.
Ladies, you ever loved your man so much, but you just couldn't find the right words to say? You know you love him, you definitely know you need him. So why not just come out and say it? Come on, ladies, sing it with me. Here we go.
I can't help it, I can't get out. Need you now. I can't take it, I need you now. I can't hold it, I gotta shout. I gotta shout it out. I say it loud. I can't help it, I can't help it. I can't take it, I need you right now. I can't hold it, I can't hold it. I say it loud.
Man, don't you love jazz? Oh my gosh. The jazz version of I Heard It Through the Grapevine on a Monday. Locks. I could listen to this all evening at 5:30 p.m. Hey everyone, my name is Denise Lady D Gomez. It's a pleasure to have you. I never take you for granted, not one bit. Want to say hi to my friends down there in Duncan's in Trelawney. How are you? To all the Trelawneyans. What do you say? What reference do you make to yourselves? I just coined that. I'm not sure if that's what it is. Oh, Lord, good evening to everyone. My name is Denise Lady D Gomez. We're fine here in the Northeast. We actually, let me see what the weather is like right now in Mount Vernon, New York. Let's see what Mount Vernon, New York is saying to me here. It's now 72. It's so nice outside. It's 72 degrees. Yeah, man, 72. Nice. We would love to say 72 all year round, but then we have to wake up out of our dream because that's not gonna happen. Give us a few months and we're like, oh, Lord, scarf, jacket, coat, boot, socks. All kinds of stuff. But I'd like to welcome everybody. 5:31. We look forward to the weather when it changes, because it's significant for us. Hi, everyone. I want to say hi to my YouTubers, Jackie, Pat, King Ryan, Vero, all my early birds. Hi to you. It's a beautiful Monday. And at 6:30 this evening, I'll be having a conversation with Stafford Grant. He's a retired corporal of the Jamaica Defense Force, the JDF, and chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast Region Citizen Security. What's that all about? We will be finding out at 6:30 p.m. Well, it's now time for me to take you to what's inside the zone this evening. And what's inside the zone is my little guy who I and the whole Jamaica and the world have fallen in love with. And this is in keeping with Child Month. May is Child Month, and I didn't go out on a limb this year for Child Month because, customarily I'm interviewing young people, but I made a bit of a change in the programming this year. But I had to find something that piqued everybody's interest, and Keith Nugent certainly did that. What time is it? 5:32 p.m.
My guest has been making big waves in his community through education, sports, and entertainment. His vision for his community is to reduce crime and violence through social intervention. Since CVM Live broke his story, he met with the Prime Minister and many more to help him on his mission. With the tenacity and determination of one many more years older, he has assumed the role of community leader, advocate, and advisor, a true representation of what is right with Jamaica. Let's welcome to Sunrise, Akeef Nugent, to share his story.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Akeef. I'm very happy to meet you, and we're very happy to have you on Sunrise.
Yes, miss.
First of all, for our Sunrisers, we are going to be focusing on young people all of May throughout Child's Month who inspire and motivate us. And you are one of those, Akeef, who inspire and
All right, sit tight.
Now, first of all, we're happy that you're here. Don't you have exams now?
Yes, I have exam right after this interview.
Wow, which one you have today?
Spanish.
How you feel like you're going to do in Spanish?
Excellent.
Excellent, because...
Bueno trabajo.
Good, are you saying that's good work?
Yeah, excellent.
Excellent, good work. Oh,
Excelente.
Excellent. Yes. Oh my God. When you talk about being excellent, doing great work, I feel like you apply that to every area of your life.
Oh, yes.
Where did you get that kind of attitude to work, to be so diligent in school, in your community, in the way you relate to other people? Where did that come from?
Well, it comes from my father. Mm-hmm. My father set of families. Mm-hmm. So they are always caring for others, doing good things and great things in the community. So them always have a saying, say, You know when children are not jacket, when them take off of them.
Them
Yes, of course.
So you are confident in the assurance and the support of your father and his family, and that is what has given you this confidence.
Yes, miss.
There are a lot of young people in your community and in other communities all over Jamaica and in fact all over the world who don't grow up with that assurance, that presence of their father and that support and example. Do you think that's a significant contributor to why a lot of young men and women don't have confidence and end up in trouble?
Yes, I think it is, because in this case now, if I was doing this without, let's say, I have my two parents, if I was doing this without one of them, like say, I'm doing it with my mother alone, and not my father, you're not going to have the confidence because it's just only a single parent. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time now, you still are going to be happy but not happy because you're going to see everybody else with them parents a cheer on and something, and are you alone.
You're not going
so
to
yes, so it level their confidence on a low level and their self-esteem.
Wow. So more fathers and even maybe some mothers, they need to make sure that they are both present in their children's lives.
Yes, miss.
You think that's the best way, and you're saying you're a proof of that.
Yes, miss.
Let's talk a little bit more specifically about your work in your community. Tell us, for persons who have not heard before, in a nutshell, 3 of your major activities in your community that you're focusing on to help uplift young people.
All right, so the 3 of my major activities is entertainment, academics, and sports.
All right.
So there are a lot of talented children in my community, but they don't have the leadership or the leader to push them. So I, as the youth advisor now, push them to the level, push them. So if them say them can do something, and I see the talent in them, I push them to do it.
So how did you know that you were a youth leader? How you know, say you as an advisor, how do you know that this is something you could do? Because a lot of people look on and see challenges and don't do anything about it. So why did you think you were to be the one to push people in your community and encourage them?
Auntie, the only thing that I can say this morning is purpose never die. So I am a purpose.
Yes,
I knew I was a purpose, and I know I am a purpose.
When did you know that? When did you figure that out?
I started this in 2017.
2017?
Yes. When
How old were you in 2017?
8 years old.
You were 8?
Oh, yes.
And since the age of 8, you have known that you have a purpose.
Yes,
and that your
purpose
purpose
can
is to
never die.
Purpose can never
Yes.
die. Did somebody tell you that, or did you figure it out, or did you hear it through the ear? Did the Lord reveal it to you? How did you know that I am a purpose and this is what I am
The
born to
Lord
do?
did it.
The Lord did it.
Oh, yes.
What? The Lord? Him tell you?
Eh? What you said now?
Did he tell you?
All right.
How did the Lord do it?
All
for
right.
you?
So I talked to my God.
Yes.
Yes. So he revealed things to me in different forms.
Yes.
So I know.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
It's so interesting because you talk about the confidence and assurance that your earthly father gives you, Akif.
Yes,
and I believe
miss.
now your heavenly father gives you greater confidence and assurance. So you are supported both in the natural and in the spiritual.
Yes.
All right, you talk about entertainment. Speak a little bit specifically about the academic part. Do you have any programs specifically running now that help students with their academics?
Yes, I have a homework program,
Yes.
I have a reading program, and I have an overall lesson program whereby we do a lot of things: Spanish, French, social studies, history. Because I always tell my students that we can not only learn one language, because the society that we are living in calls us and tempt us to do many things. So you can go overseas now and everybody is talking Spanish and you alone, hello, good morning, that will cause you understand?
Yes.
So what if you know another language now, it to build you,
Yes.
and so you know more about the society in not only your country but all over the world. Yes.
So Akif, the students that you teach, are they younger than you, your same age, or older than you? What is the age range of your students?
I only have 2 that is older than me.
2 that is older.
Yes, only
so
2.
Really encouraging younger children in your community.
Yes, miss.
So their parents, when they send them, when their children come to you, their parents just allow them to just be in your company and just send their younger children.
It's going well, wouldn't you say? Stay with me. We'll resume in a minute. It's Inside the Zone. It's my feature on Child Month, and this interview was conducted by the CVM television in Jamaica.
Yes, because children love me, and I can be trusted with people, children.
Right.
Because when it's school time, I don't play.
Right.
Yes. So they can trust me with their children because I'm not that type of person for push their children in danger. That is not right.
Right.
Yes.
You're pushing them towards good
yes.
things.
Oh, yes.
Since we had the conversation when CVM came and we had that first conversation with you where everybody began to know your story, since then you've met with the Prime Minister. What was that like for you?
It was great, not only for me, but my students and my assistant at the Nugent Academy. It was fun, and we expressed ourselves, and you know, we knew more, and we can tell other people about the great things that we have done in our community.
When you said the Nugent Academy, Akif, is that your academy?
Yeah, that's my school name.
The name of your school is
Yes,
the Nugent
miss.
Academy, and that is the space that you do all of these activities.
Yes, miss.
For your peers. Okay, Akif, considering all that you've been doing so far, what do you hope to accomplish? I can't even ask you when you become an adult, so I'm going to say in 8 more years when you're 16, what are some major things you are setting your sights on? Beg your pardon, no, you started at 8. You're in grade 8 now.
Yes,
so
miss.
in the time that you would graduate high school, beg your pardon, in the time that you would graduate high school, what are some things that you want to accomplish?
All right, so I would like to accomplish. I would like to have a school for myself.
Yes.
Yes. So, when I build the school now, I can go to college or university and get my bachelor's, my master's degree, and my PhD and such. So I can, you understand? Be at a teaching level.
So you want to have
certified.
a school where,
yes.
and you want certification
Yes,
to be
miss.
able to teach young people.
Yes,
that's
miss.
what you want.
Yes, miss.
And you want that by the time you're graduating. Well, you want to graduate high school, but that's your big goal.
Yes, my big
Your big goal.
Yes.
And you want to have this school in your community, I'm feeling.
Yes, miss.
Yeah. So that young people can be close to them.
Yes, miss. Or I would like to have a community center.
Right. So different kinds of activities, not just classroom things, but your
Yes,
sports and
miss.
entertainment.
Alrighty, it's coming right back.
One place.
Yes, miss.
When your parents, they are seeing, your family seeing this, you're on TV, you're meeting with the Prime Minister, you're teaching while still being a student, you have exam this morning. What do they say to you? What's their response like?
Well, my auntie always say to me, I am a big deal.
Yes.
My granny always say I'm a big deal.
Right.
Most of my family members know that I am a big deal already.
Yes.
So, but my auntie and my grandmother and father and grandfather is the person, to cheer me on to that. Say I am a big deal.
Right.
But because I know I am a big deal, but they are pushing me.
Yes.
So I can do great.
Affirming that confidence that you already have. And what about mommy? How does having your mom part of your life help you on this?
Alrighty, it is now 5:44 p.m. and the interview is winding down, but he's certainly an engaging interviewee. The interviewer doesn't even have to do much. Those are the people I like, Yes, those are the people I like. They know their stuff and they're able to articulate it, man.
And great at this time.
Great at this time. All right, Akif.
And so he knows what he's about. You talk about his assistant.
Maybe you're same age. They may be younger than you or they may be older than you. In fact, Akif, they might be big adults and they feel like time has passed, they're not able to make an impact in their community because, boy, they don't have it. Or, they just feel like, I could have done that when I was younger, or I'm probably too young to make a difference. What would you say to that person as part of your closing remarks this morning on this great speech that you've given to us?
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
the only thing that I can say.
Alrighty, we are having a bit of a buffering challenge here, but the interview will go through. So just give me a moment. I apologize for that. It's now 5:45 p.m. and coming right after will be our immigration updates with Lady Trudy Ann. And this week it's all about affidavit of support. Good evening, everyone. My name is Denise, Lady D. Gomez. It's a pleasure having you this evening, and I just want everyone to know that, things are going well here on Inside the Zone. A lot of new partnerships, and I appreciate that. Don't forget the show is brought to you by Cooler Running.
And you want to have this school in your community, I'm feeling.
Yes, miss.
Yeah, so that young people can be close to them.
Yes, miss.
Okay, not sure why it's buffering so much, but in the meanwhile, I'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. It's 5:46. Don't forget our telephone number is 914-600-4228, and the segment is Child Month.
Family seeing this, you're on TV, you're meeting with the Prime Minister, you're teaching while still being a student, you have exam this morning. What do they say to you? What's their response like?
Well, my auntie always say to me, I am a big deal.
Yes.
My granny always say I'm a big deal.
Right.
Most of my family members know that I am a big deal already.
Yes.
So, but my auntie and my grandmother and father and grandfather is the person, to cheer me on to that, say I am a big deal.
Right.
But because I know I am a big deal, but they are pushing me.
Yes.
So I can do great at it.
Affirming that confidence that you already have. And what about mommy? How does having your mom part of your life help you on this journey?
It is okay and great at this time.
Great at this time. All right, Akif. If there are young people who they may be your same age, they may be younger than you, or they may be older than you. In fact, Akif, they might be big adults, and they feel like time has passed. They're not able to make an impact in their community because, boy, they don't have it. Or, they just feel like, I could have done that when I was younger, or I'm probably too young to make a difference. What would you say to that person as part of your closing remarks this morning on this great speech that you've given to us?
Okay, so the only thing that I can say, it's 3 words.
Yes.
Purpose no, not 3 words.
It's more.
Yes, it's more. But let me say it. Purpose can never die. Purpose can never die. So that is the only thing I'm going to say to them this morning. So from there now, they can look back into themselves and see what they have done or what they plan to do in the rest of the life that they are living. And
seek out their purpose.
Oh, yes.
Find your purpose.
Find your
because
purpose.
It's there living in you still. Even
but
if
you have to push and let it happen. Because as I was saying, we can't want coconut.
Yes.
And we not plant it and we not water the tree.
Yes.
It's not going to grow.
No.
Where you going to get off of it? You have to set a pace for it and, water it. You plant the seed.
You have to take care of it.
Make it grow.
Right.
So, the purpose of God there now,
right.
You have to make it grow out, water it.
Yes, you have to seek it out. You have to read. You have to
do all of these things, meditate, praise your God, and all of those something.
For your purpose to come out.
And just make it come out,
make
grow,
it flourish, make it grow.
flourish.
So the seed is in
and
all of us.
And spread all over your body and all over the world, so everybody can see it.
Akif Nugent is in grade 8, and he joined us this morning for Sunrise. Thank you so much, Akif.
Thanks much.
All the very best in your exams today, and all the very best for the rest of your life.
Yes, miss.
I'm telling you, when she ended her last sentence, she looked into the camera and paused.
Because she's saying to herself, oh my God, what did they do to me this morning? Such a blessed soul, a young boy, I'm telling you, a Keith Nugent, and we will be hearing more about him. When you hear these young people, we need to pray for them. We need to encourage them because it's not easy, you know. There is something or someone waiting in the wings to trip them up. But if he has the support and good mentors to keep him focused, he'll go a long way. He has an assistant. How many of you have an assistant? Keith has an assistant, and he has his team, and he has his academy, the Nugent Academy. And I remember seeing him, he said back in 2017, yes, he was in his community teaching with some zinc fenced area. And the little children sat there listening, and he was helping them with their homework and so on. God bless our children. And when we get a headline that says a child is missing, it ought to make us weak in the knees, I'm telling you, and to pray right away. I'm listening this morning to the news. Again, they can't find the child. There's an Ananda alert out. I'm like, God, please, please, please let this child come home. So, you know, it's not easy when you lose a child. It's not easy. And when they are here and they are being well-rounded human beings, willing to elevate and uplift their nation, why wouldn't we want to secure that, to secure them? Oh my God, man, you don't know. So I thank all those who are highlighting and those who have chosen to help. Lisa Hannah went. She was in his class setting, and she's giving him support as well. Hi. You know, there is the recognition, and then there is the support behind the scenes, which he's getting, because, you know, one hand can't clap. And the novelty of him starting this great venture, it's going to need help, because some of the children coming to him don't even have book and pencil, much less. So I just thought he is an amazing child, and he chose to do this. Most of the things we do in our lives is by choice. I choose to go to work. I could lay down in my bed and say I ain't going no work today. But we choose to be productive and decent people in our society. Good evening, everybody. How na do? Got some more music, and then right after that, so there has to be a shift in my programming this evening, because customarily at 6 o'clock I would air, you know, the Keeping You in the Know, but I'm sure at the end of Trudy Ann's immigration update on affidavits of support, it might run over a little bit. So do be patient with me. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez, but after Akeef, I need something. I need something, man. Something. It's a good day. It is a Monday. Hello to everybody. I love me some jazz. How about you? Y'all must be saying, you see that Lady D, she come with all kinds of stuff, you know. Yeah, you can't just one man drop the whole time. No, you have to mix up your music, shift things around every now and again. Hey, to my YouTubers, Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7. Fit FM 96.7, CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. This is your budding and buzzing station. Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM. Five minutes to 6 o'clock. Oh, I love music, man. Anybody who knows me know I love to jig. Jackie, you know who I miss for this one. May his soul rest in peace, my guy Tony. Jazz Music Monday. That's what I'm talking about. Alrighty. Okay, Lady D, come down, girl, come down. Yep. We need to get into other facets of the program. Don't forget, at 6:30 p.m. I'll be having a discussion in Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Stafford Grant will be my guest. And Stafford, he is... Okay, get my glasses together here. He is a retired corporal of the Jamaica Defense Force, the JDF, and chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast Region Citizen Security. We'll be having a great conversation. Stafford like to talk and give us information, and I'm right there with you, Stafford. 2 minutes to 6 o'clock. Of course, each and every Monday, we feature community and immigration updates with Lady Trudy, and I would like to welcome everyone to the segment this evening. Grab your pens, grab your pencils, your slate, your chalk, whatever you have, and take note of this very vital information. Good evening, everyone. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant. 1802 Nereida Avenue in the Bronx. Good evening to those of you who are stopping by for the first time. You are perhaps wondering who is on the radio. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. I'm the producer and presenter of the show Inside the Zone, twice weekly on Mondays 5 to 7 p.m. and Thursdays 6 to 8 p.m. And just in case you've never stopped by my YouTube channel, check us out at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning for Saturday morning runnings. Oh my gosh, we did a rebroadcast on Saturday.
When you are hungry,
refreshing.
Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nereida Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
It is 6 p.m.
Hi, Lady D. Good evening. This is yours truly, Lady Trudy, and with the community and immigration update. So thank you for having me. As always, when we meet is always galang and pea soup, right? Anyway, just wanted to call in today to speak about affidavit of support, which is the I-864. And many people will be familiar with the affidavit of support because it is one of the most integral documents when filing for your family member, whether it's your spouse, sibling back in Jamaica, or your children. It is needed to provide proof of income, not just any kind of income, but proof to USCIS that you are the individual filing for the family member is able to support that family member when they come up to the United States, and that they would not become dependent on the government. Now, many people have confusion regarding, when to, how much money they need to have in order to put on the affidavit of support. Now, I've heard people say, "Oh, you need to have $40,000, make $40,000," and that's not the case. It depends on how many people you are sponsoring and how many people you have as dependents on your tax return. So the income level varies. USCIS has the income level on their site. Now, when somebody says you have to make $40,000, that's not 100% true. If you have, say you have 7 or 8 family members, the $40,000 is moot because you need to have more than $40,000. Now, if you don't have the required income, now you're allowed to have a joint sponsor. But I need individuals to be aware that when you're filing for the initial green card for whichever family member, you're only allowed to have one joint sponsor. So yourself with your income and a joint sponsor. And a joint sponsor could be anyone, as long as they're willing to provide their tax documents, the tax returns, and the current year W-2 to submit to immigration along with their green card or their American passport to show that they're American citizen or they're a green card holder. You cannot submit more than 2. You cannot have more than 1 joint sponsor. So when I say 2, meaning yourself as a sponsor and 1 joint sponsor, that's the initial green card. Because think about it. If you need 2, 3 joint sponsors when you file the green card, that means you can't afford this person. You can't afford to take care of this person. So immigration is going to look at it side eye, bombastic side eye, that how comes you're filing for this person but you need 2, 3, 4 joint sponsors? I had a colleague called me a couple months ago saying he had a client and he was very alarmed because the lawyer was asking the client for 5 joint sponsors when it was the initial green card, and she herself had more than enough money can cover it. By the time he told me it was too late, she had already paid the lawyer. And that's exactly what's going on. The lawyer wanted money because he knows very well he cannot submit those 5 joint sponsors to immigration. So he told her that in order to get more money from her. So people, when you're listening to this, when you're filing for the initial green card, you're only allowed 1 additional joint sponsor, yourself as a sponsor, and 1 additional joint sponsor. Now, when you go to the NVC, so the family member that you're filing for is back home in the islands. So now you're going to the I-130 was approved, and it's now sent over to the NVC that you need to pay the AOS and the IV fees and upload the civil documents, which includes your affidavit of support. Now, here is when you can have 2 additional joint sponsors. For example, you are filing for your son and your daughter, and they have 2 to 3 children. So, of course, unless you're making 100, 200 grand, chances are all of your salary income may not cover all of your family members that you're filing for. So now you're allowed to get a 2 joints. So if you get a joint sponsor, but that person's money is still not enough, you can get a second joint sponsor. And that's the only time you are allowed to have 2 additional joint sponsors instead of 1. But when it's the initial green card filing, you're only allowed 1 joint sponsor along with yourself. When it goes to NVC, 2 joint sponsors along with yourself. So that is the requirements for the I-864, which is the affidavit of support. Now, a caveat to that is if you are submitting your tax returns and you file jointly with your spouse, now you have to, in addition to the I-864, you have to add the I-864A, A as in apple, and that is for your spouse to sign, saying they're okay with you using their income to support the sponsorship of this person. And the same goes if whichever sponsor you're using and they file jointly with their spouse, not only are you filling out, not only do they have to sign the I-864, but their spouse needs to sign the I-864A, A as in apple. Because as I said, the spouse has to agree for their income to be used to sponsor this individual. And if you send your joint tax returns without sending the additional I-864A, immigration will return your packet. Of course, when you come to Miss Trudy Ann at Swarties International, I make sure that your documents do not get returned. I make sure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. So with that, you can reach me at my office, 929-312-1161, 929-312-1161. And as always, it's a pleasure, Lady D, to be on your program and to be part of the community. Looking forward to seeing you on the Cooler Runnings Cargill Foundation event coming up on June 10th. And as always, walk good, mind Makajukyo.
Take it easy, take it easy. Okay. Trudy Ann with our community and immigration updates aired on Mondays. Good evening to everyone. Where are you? What are you up to? I know a lot of you are busy moving around, but those of you who have spent the time with me just to sit back, relax, and listen to the radio show, it is an absolute honor to have you, because you could have been doing other things. Here in New York, we're so busy. You can plug here, plug there, plug international. I sometimes wonder, what does the space actually look like when all the broadcast mediums are in sync, doing what they're doing at the same time in different countries? Man, I wonder what that looks like. And the fact that you're here with me, I appreciate you. So good evening to everybody. I just want to say it's a blessing to have you here.
This is Glacia, and you're listening to the resplendent, resourceful, beautiful, brilliant, innovative, informative, and entertaining Lady D on Inside the Zone on Linkage Radio. Keep on listening and keep it locked. Lady D is on the radio. Lady D is on the radio. Music that never stops now. Information, inspiration, motivation. Lady D is on the radio. Lady D's on the radio. Keep on listening, yeah. Keep it locked. Lady D's on the radio. Music that never stops. Music that never stops. No. Oh. Yeah. Music, sweet music, inspiration. Inside the zone, the zone. Hey, hey, hey. Lady D's on the radio. Oh, turn me up now. Yeah. Lady D, say, Lady D is on the radio. Inside the zone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ooh, go on, my sister. Hey, hey, seasoned, sensational. Lady D, elegant, entertaining. Lady D, whoa, 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 Lady D, inside the zone, yeah. Lady D, inside the zone.
Don't you think Glacier Robinson just bad like that? I tell you, when Glacier had sent this to me, I listened to it over and over. I said, but Lord have mercy. Glacier bad. I tell you, welcome back. I got lost just a while ago, man. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. It's 12 minutes? Huh. 12 minutes after. Yes, so nice, right? I tell you. Evening, Sharns. It's nice to see you, my dear. I'm here. 12 minutes after 6 o'clock. Let me get quickly into the news feature before I get all caught up in other things. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Denise, Lady D Gomez. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know with news, happenings, and facts. It's brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. 2 people were killed when a small plane headed for Hawaii crashed in the Pacific Ocean shortly after takeoff from Northern California, federal officials said Sunday. The Viking Air DHC-6400 Twin Otter crashed around 2:15 p.m. Saturday in the water about 40 miles, 64 kilometers, off the coast of Half Moon Bay, California, the National Transportation Safety Board said in a statement. The United States Coast Guard found the submerged plane and confirmed the pilot and co-pilot suffered fatal injuries, the statement said. They were the only people on board, officials said. The turboprop aircraft was en route from Santa Rosa in Sonoma County, north of San Francisco, to Honolulu, the Federal Aviation Administration said. The DHC-6400 Twin Otter is a utility aircraft that seats 19 passengers, according to the Viking Air website. Crews are working to recover the plane. The NTSB and the FAA administration will investigate. Half Moon Bay is a coastal community about 20 miles, 32 kilometers south of San Francisco. A woman has been arrested in connection with the death of her boyfriend, who was run over by a car after a domestic dispute, according to police in Arizona. Shelley Shears, 51, was booked into the Pinal County Jail Saturday on suspicion of murder, or rather on suspicion of second-degree murder, Casa Grande police said. It wasn't immediately clear Sunday if Shears had a lawyer yet, who, I do apologize, let me take that from okay. It wasn't immediately clear Sunday if Shears had a lawyer yet who could speak on her behalf.
Officers responded to a motor vehicle versus pedestrian collision around 8:30 a.m. Saturday and found 59-year-old Billy Stevens lying near a roadway in serious condition with significant trauma. Police said Stevens was flown to a Phoenix hospital where he later died from his injuries. Detectives discovered significant evidence to determine Shears and Stevens were in a verbal argument prior to her striking him with her vehicle, police said in a statement. Shears remained at the scene before she was taken into custody. The case has been forwarded to the county attorney's office for review. Casa Grande is located about halfway between Phoenix and Tucson. A community is in mourning following the deaths of two missing boys whose bodies were tragically found in two separate Manhattan rivers. Garrett Warren, 13, and Alpha Bari, 11, were last seen on May 12 at the intersection of 145th Street and Lenox Avenue. They attended different schools but were believed to be friends, which is why investigators linked their missing cases. Last Thursday, Warren's body was found in the Harlem River. An autopsy showed that he died by accidental drowning. On Saturday, Barry's body was found in the Hudson River. His cause of death has yet to be determined. A condolence service for Barry will be held in the Bronx. Tonight, the NYPD is continuing their investigation into their deaths. You're tuned in to Keeping You in the Know with news, happenings, and facts. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. The Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, is defending the decision of the government to push for a mandatory minimum sentence of 50 years for capital murder. Chuck, while delivering a prepared statement before the Joint Select Committee of the Parliament examining the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Act 2023, the Offences Against the Person Amendment Act 2023, and the Child Care and Protection Amendment Act 2023, argued that the legislature must send a strong message to convicted murderers. He acknowledged that sentencing is primarily the jurisdiction of the judiciary, and rightfully so, as judges are able to assess each case on its merit while balancing aggravating and mitigating factors. Quote, however, the legislature, as the lawmaking body, cannot avoid the responsibility and authority to declare policies and guidelines to reflect society's overall demand, hope, and expectations that penalties should reflect the feeling, repugnance, and disgust that the society, victims, and their families feel for violent criminals, especially convicted murderers, end quote, Chuck said. The Justice Minister said this cycle of violence, revenge, reprisal, and retaliation must cease. Chuck told the committee that the policy of the government is to send the strongest signal to potential killers that their hideous and dastardly acts will be punished severely. Chuck argued that when killings occur, the families and friends of the victims feel strongly that the killers, having deprived their loved ones of their lives, should not be allowed to enjoy their lives in a free society. The minister pointed out that the death penalty was still an available sentence for capital murder, while telling the committee that the proposed alternative sentence for capital murder is life imprisonment with a minimum mandatory period of 50 years imprisonment before consideration for parole. Chuck said that with respect to non-capital murders, life imprisonment is still an appropriate sentence, even though parole may be available after a minimum mandatory period of imprisonment. It is 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. And as I'm wrapping up our headlines for today, the freedom of Manchester higgler Shavana Richards has been suspended as he was convicted for murder last Friday. Richards, who, while being investigated for a 2015 double murder, was found to be the man responsible for the 2013 contract killing of Artwell Alfonso Joseph, and was found guilty of that slaying in the Manchester Parish Court. Joseph, a 48-year-old Guyanese businessman who had retired to Jamaica from Britain and was the operator of a loan company in Manchester, was shot during a home invasion at his McKinley Drive address during a robbery. According to Joseph's wife, who was a witness at the trial, she was in her room when she heard a voice say, "Where the money there?" She then said she heard her husband, who was in the living room, say, "Honey, call the police." She said she then heard 2 explosions and, upon investigating, saw 2 masked men in the living room and her husband lying on the ground unresponsive. She said she then headed towards the outside, determined to get help for her husband, only to have one of the robbers ask, "Lady, where you are go?" while following her. She said, in turning around to answer, she saw Richards, who had by then taken his mask off. She said she told him, "I don't care if you kill me. I'm going to get help for my husband." She raised an alarm while continuing on her way outside. Her screams alerted neighbors, who determined that something was amiss, and the man fled. According to the prosecution, Richards later bragged to an acquaintance that he got money to kill a man in Manchester, and even took the individual to show him the house where Joseph and his wife had lived. The Crown said, fortuitously, during the investigations into the shooting deaths of 2 brothers, O'Shane Levy, 21, and 27-year-old Anthony Bailey, of Highway Drive, Greenvale, in May of 2015, the acquaintance, upon learning that Richards had been taken into custody for those murders, told the police about his boast that he had been the one to kill Joseph. He was subsequently charged with that murder and tried. He is to be sentenced on June 26. In the meantime, Richards is scheduled to also stand trial for the killing of the 2 brothers at a later date. The Jamaica Observer understands. 23 minutes after 6 o'clock. That's a wrap for keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Coming up at 6:30 will be my interview with Stafford Grant, and we will be talking about Stafford's project that he is working on assiduously, along with members of the team for the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast. We are busy over here. When you say the Jamaica Diaspora these days, unless you are not a person who is reading, listening to different mediums and presenters and interviews and reading, then you may really be out in the deep. Because when somebody says the diaspora, it means whether you're Jamaican, African, Cuban, wherever you are, and there is a presence of people from different parts of the world. Those of us make it up outside of our country. And so we have been hearing so much about the Jamaican diaspora and the work that it has been doing here in the United States, and also offering support to other organizations and individuals outside of where we are here in the Northeast. So we'd like to say kudos. Karen Dunkley is no longer the president, but Michelle Tullow is now in that seat, and she will be on the segment next Monday for Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. 25 minutes after 6 o'clock. What's going on, everybody? We're there. Things are going. Mm-hmm. And so I'd like to welcome everybody tuning in. To my YouTubers, thank you for always being with me. I just appreciate all of you. You are there. You sit, you watch, you move around, but I'm there with you.
Pat says she loved Glacia. I'm telling you, Pat, Glacia is in a class all by herself.
This is Lady D, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside of the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com.
I'd like to acknowledge my caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Lady D.
Well, I thought of you, a few days ago. And I said,
yeah?
I wonder where she is. I'm not sure. I have not heard her. And customarily, when we do not hear her, she has taken a trip.
Quick and fast before your guests come on. We will talk off the here when time is available.
Yes.
Two things I want. How is Auntie Daphne, please?
Well, when I saw her last, which was Sunday, Mother's Day, I went and spent some time with her. She wasn't bad. She still wasn't able to have, communicate because she don't know you. She don't recognize you. But, I tried to stimulate her somewhat. I showed her my picture. I asked her who she was. That person in the picture, she look up at me and laugh. And, which tells me something is still going on there. But, yes, so she's pretty much the same, but way better than when she was first admitted.
Oh,
So
thank God.
because I had a little throat thing going on over the weekend.
Yeah, you don't want to be
No.
in that environment.
Yes.
My next question is
Mhm.
that kid that was interviewed there on your program earlier.
Yes, me.
How old is that child, Lady D?
He is now 14.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
He is that same kid couple time fly fast was on the news down there in somewhere in St. Anne where he had a school where he set up not something there in
Well, he's
a
not
little
from
shop or
St.
something.
He's not from St. Anne. He's from Kingston.
Oh well.
He's from Cockburn Pen.
Where?
Cockburn Pen.
Where is that, please?
Isn't that easy? It's a Tony picnic.
It's in Kingston?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. If we have half a dozen more like that child in the island, I think most of these kids would be on the right track.
Which is why he is such an instrumental force to mentor other children into becoming, men and women in our society who will take the mantle and run with it.
We will talk. I don't want to keep up your time. That kid's just let me. My head is so big. Oh my gosh!
Yes, he's something else.
I have to. We will talk. We'll talk.
Yes, my love.
All right. Be blessed.
Blessings to you too.
All right.
Okay. Bye bye.
God bless.
Alrighty, so that you heard my update on Auntie Daff. That was my latest update. And of course, there are other things happening, but that we will disclose at another time. So I would like to say good evening to everyone. Of course, I'm anticipating my guest to be calling me in a few minutes, but in the meantime, I do have some music for you here on Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Lordy, I'm singing up a storm here. Why not? Jazz Music Monday, just in case you're just joining me and wondering what? Good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Lady D, and to all the listeners. It's Gloria.
Good evening.
How are you,
dear
Lady
Pat?
D?
I'm fine. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good.
okay. I was missing on Thursday. I had a project that I was working on, and it took a lot of my time, so I was absent from class. I couldn't be there on Thursday, but here I am today, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Okay. Can you hear me, Lady D?
Yes, Pat, keep talking. My guest is online here with me, so he wants to call in
Okay,
now.
but listen, no, I will hang up and I will
Right.
call back.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
Thank
go
you.
back. Hang up. Bye-bye.
Okay. All righty. So thanks, Pat. Welcome to Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Good evening.
Hi, Lady D. Good evening. This is Stafford.
Good evening, Mr. Stafford. How are you? I hope you love jazz.
Yes, that's all right. Love all music.
Right. Welcome, everyone. It's now time, so I have to pull my music down, Stafford, because we want to get into our segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking, and you are my intellectual guest this evening with a voice. You have so much to share, so much to do, and so little time, and I never like to waste time when my guests are on. It's a pleasure having you. You're certainly no stranger to my show, but certainly seated in the chair all by your lonesome this evening, it's certainly your first time.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Stafford Grant. And he's a retired corporal of the Jamaica Defense Force, the JDF, chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast Region, Citizen Security. Welcome, Stafford. Would you like to say hello to anyone before we start? I always offer my guest the privilege of saying their hellos.
Yes, I would like to say good evening and hello, hi, good afternoon to each and every one of your listeners, to yourself, and to our lead of the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast, Ms. Michelle Solo, and our chair for the state, Ms. Barbara Wilson, and all the chairs of the Diaspora Northeast, especially, I would say, our past representative, Dr. Karen Dowley.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we could not leave Karen out at all. So I'd like to welcome you, Stafford. Now, you are involved in several functional areas of the Jamaica diaspora. In fact, your name rings, as we say, a bell whenever it is mentioned. How important is that for you? The fact that people call your name and they say, "Oh yes, I know Stafford." We have to break. We have to break the ice.
Yes, that's great. That's very nice to hear that. Yes, my name will be mentioned in a lot around. Yes, as the chair of the Diaspora Citizen Security and also the past president of the Jamaica Ex-Soldiers Association, and currently the president of the Service Men and Women Foundation, it has been doing a lot. I've supported, I would say, all the other organizations regarding in the tri-state, and you know, with their endeavors, whatever we can, and I try to work mainly with the youth. So it is something that I try to get myself involved. I like to motivate, I like to mentor, and I like to be, as I call myself, the disciples of the law. So inspire the person else to follow the law, regardless of how it may take you.
And that's good, because you have to raise people up, right? You have to bring them along.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as a retired corporal of the Jamaica Defense Force and chairman of the Jamaican Diaspora Northeast Region Citizen Security, please tell us the functions of the Citizen Security.
Oh, beautiful. I love that question. The function and role of the citizen security. Well, as the citizen security, it's one of the areas that the representatives under her mandatory program to the ministry would like to have someone focus on how we can mold the youth, see how best we can not only go out there and say, okay, talking about police and soldiers patrolling or doing something like that, but find ways and means how we can educate the youth within the community in the era to acknowledge the civic pride. So with having the knowledge of the youth, we try to find ways, like in the church with the youth groups, police youth groups, and other organizations, the groups. So we see where we can help to enhance the communities. And so we started youth programs, work with them to help the youth mainly to guide them through the principles of obeying the law, recognizing, respecting the senior citizens, and especially the disabled and mental impaired. So we try to mold them from as we say, from the baby stage, to give them the good idea and show them the right way up to be respectful of the law.
So in particular, Stafford, where exactly is the program now fully integrated and functioning?
Okay, great. We started out in 2020 when things was more on the lockdown in Jamaica, and there were a lot of mental health things going on within the youth, not used to something like that. So we started out with the youth in Sabla Lamar, and I would say thanks to Bishop Joyce Bernard and Pastor Desmond Malcolm, they opened their church to the program, wherein they try to get the youth into the church. The Diaspora Northeast Citizen Security donated 10 computers to the church, so we get the youth from various areas come into the church, wherein that we have volunteer teachers to try to guide them through certain programs and things. So this came in wherein we introduced scratch coding, and scratch coding was introduced to the Diaspora Northeast. Well, I don't know about the other areas, but for me, I learned it from Dr. Claire Nelson's program. She introduced it to the diaspora, and it takes off from there. So I interjected into the community, of which we started out in 2010 with 10 youths within the area of Sabla, and we end the 8-week program with 23. So we continue that program there. Last year we had 175 registered across Jamaica, but the funding and the support is really a challenge to keep the program going, and especially in Jamaica, the internet service is not reliable in all homes. So we are restructuring the program this time and working through the police, the National Youth Police body in Jamaica, working through the youth clubs across Jamaica. So the police youth department, if it all goes through, because we are still in negotiation with and waiting on response from the higher command. Yes. We have some strong, good leaders there in Jamaica in the form of Inspector Ava Lindo and Sergeant McPine and the Inspector Shand. So when we get that, we're hoping to have this program go through, and we hope to start in June or July for the other program. But we need computers to help these youth in the community.
Yes.
And it is mostly geared for those underserved communities. So we're focusing on churches and schools where we can have a group come in and we can get sponsored for internet service.
Well, we're working on that. Well, we would like to say that this is really, really a project that, if not many, all persons should show a vested interest in, because it will benefit the youth. As a child growing up, Stafford, we had a community center in my community. And that's where a lot of the young men and women went. They learned their skills, and some of them were able to go on to tertiary level education and all of that. And we invariably had, until in recent times, any kind of gang-related issues in our community. We were able to walk late at night and so on. So the more you have hands-on things for people to do, as we use the term on-the-job training, it's the better for them. It keeps them occupied and out of trouble, and less time for idle hands. So thank you. I think that is a great thing that you are all doing. And the benefit of your being on air with me this evening, Stafford, is that there is a station in Jamaica, Fit FM 96.7 out of Duncan's in Trelawney, and they're going to be hearing this, which I'm hoping will spark some interest for them. So I will reach out to the CEO of the station and find out, if there's any way we can connect you with them in Trelawney and see what you can do for that community. Okay?
That would be great, because sometime in I think it was in January, I was on the Durban Malcolm show, and speaking what the program was about. And after the show, there was someone from Trelawney that called me, because I might not, but they do not have internet. That's the problem. And as I said, school would be a good asset to have a school forum where they have a computer lab, or the church can have a lab where we do try to donate computers. We do donate computers and assist the areas that are struggling. At the moment, I'm trying to get funding. I have 15 computers that 5 schools out of St. Mary wanted to be on the program. And you have some other areas in Kingston and in Clarendon that make requests that they would like their church to have the assistance of getting the program into their church. So we are also working on getting funding to get 15 computers that are ready with Windows 10 and Windows 11, Windows 10 and 11 that are refurbished to help these kids. And that's one of the programs we have. But working with the police youth club across Jamaica, we are not doing this as a band-aid thing. We want to have an organization that can maintain the program and ensure that it's being supervised, and also bridging the gap between the police and the community, because of the work they are doing.
Which is so critical at this time, because I remember the constable in my community, and I mean, he knew everybody, and he patrolled, and he would go out to the station in Chapelton and come back in the evenings and patrol again. It was amazing. And, he built relationships with people. So if we could go back to that, there are some things people will tell you, Stafford, that is them long time demand. But there are just some things that through continuity, it will build a greater nation. That's what we think. Now, the National Community Development Citizen Participation Program, is this something entirely different?
That is what we are trying to do at this at this juncture, do all our youth program nationally. So it doesn't really benefit one parish.
Right.
You have to look at how Jamaica is divided. Cornwall make it second. Sorry. So we work with all the leaders. I want to say this. There's a lot of doubts about the police department in Jamaica. The police department is doing a wonderful job within the communities. And I have a lot of confidence in them. And this is the reason why we would love, as a diaspora, go and stand beside those police officers who are working with the youth, developing plans and working with the youth in the communities. And I would love to see this comes on, because citizen participation is important.
Yes.
Because I work with some other organization, and one of the organizations out of Falmouth, they renovated I think the Falmouth Primary School cafeteria. They assist them with computers and stores and things and different there. And 2 weeks, 3 weeks after it was done, it's all been vandalized. It's gone. Out in Clarendon, I went to school there in Clarendon, Hazard, I think it's primary, with the principal, Mr. Orville.
Yes.
And yes, and they have challenges kids there, and they have a department that they are building a new thing there, and they vandalize it, take away the doors and trying to take away the water tanks and things. So that's why we're looking now to have the community participate in all the programs that we're working in, so they know that they have to be a protective personnel of it, because their kids are the ones that are benefiting. And this is very important for the community to learn and understand what is going on. Without them, then, it's like useless at all.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining, welcome to the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And with me this evening is Stafford Grant. He is a retired corporal of the Jamaica Defense Force, the JDF, and chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast Region Citizen Security. And we're learning so much more about this program. Now, Stafford, you and I would like to sit and talk all evening, but we have to move on. Now, I'd like to ask you, what is your advice for people who are new to the diaspora, or as we would say, just come? How can they connect?
Well, yes, we really appreciate the support from anyone in the diaspora to get connected, to learn what is the diaspora and who are the diaspora. And to get involved is great, and we need it, because it helps to really highlight a lot what is going on in Jamaica, and it helps to correct some of the issues in Jamaica. So if someone would like to be a part of the diaspora movement, because we are a movement, they can contact Miss Michelle Tolonil. She's this diaspora representative for the Northeast.
Yes.
And her number is 215 620-6344, and her email is Northeast, is NE, number 2, diaspora, DIASPORA @gmail.com, or they can contact Miss Barbara Wilson. She's the state chair of Pennsylvania. 267-934-3091, and her email is B Wilson, WILSON 67 CAPFEST CAPFEST @gmail.com.
All right, great.
Or,
continue. I apologize.
They can contact me at Stafford Grant 484-767-4543, or email is staffgrant15 gmail.com.
And if all of that
We
information,
do welcome them.
yes, and if all of that information, ladies and gentlemen, you weren't able to capture all at once, you can also contact me at insideofthezone@gmail.com. Insideofthezone@gmail.com. How could I end this interview, Stafford, without asking you where in Jamaica are you from and what was it like growing up as a boy?
Oh, well, it was a marvelous, incredible boy in those days. Well, when I came to age to understand, my parents told me that I was born on Oakland Road of Warden Park era. But I know myself growing up in the Lower St. Andrew. We talk about Greenwich Town, Maxwell Avenue. We lived on Maxwell Avenue in Nelson Road for a period of time, then Barnes Lane and Maxwell Avenue, Greenwich Town. Then we went over when the new development was built in Trenchtown, known as Rima. So I lived there for most of my time, where I ended up when I was going high school as Excelsior.
Oh, you went
and
to
then I went into the Jamaica Defense. Yes, I went into the Jamaica Defense Force, and from there it is just that. Lower St. Andrew is my playground, and it was very, very, very enjoyable playing soccer and things over by Bumper or by that there. So it was good growing up down there.
After all,
very good.
Now tell me a little snippet of what was it like being in the JDF.
Oh, it was an experience. It is a college. The JDF is. I would love to see they come up with a mandatory program that if you graduate high school, you have to do at least 2 years or so within the JDF. You learn a lot. Discipline. They are. I would say. You just cannot slip up and get away with it that easily. It is an institution full of discipline, and it is an organization I have a lot of great respect for, regardless of that. And let us be clear here. The JDF is not a squeak clean organization, like anything in the world. But the thing that I know, and I can tell anyone that, if you are the one that slips up and immediately you slip up, you get punished. And many soldiers do not want to be in that category. So it is not that they are squeaky clean. We all guys from the inner city, but they have a strong rate of discipline and respect, and you always have to show respect for your elders, your leaders, and everyone. You show respect for each other. And I love the JDF. I would recommend that they have a program that you must serve to bring back the discipline within Jamaica. And I love the JDF.
Maybe you could send that communication across to them. What do you think? Or write an article in the newspaper. You know, they're always reading. What do you think?
We have. Yes, that is great. That is something that a couple of us look through, and we do still have strong communication with leaders within the JDF. They promote youth programs. They assist with youth programs, and this is wherein I am working on the system here with the community participation for the schools to more strongly link with the JCF and the JDF. Because if they have a computer lab, the JDF and the JCF have brilliant technicians and IT personnel that will monitor these things. What I do not like is that the community is moving away from the era of support, which is the JCF and the JDF.
Yes.
And this is where we need to bring back that gap, because they are strongly disciplined, and we will get a lot of more out of our youth.
All right. So in a nutshell now, because we're wrapping up, you have lived a meaningful life, Stafford. I wonder what's next for you.
What is next for me? Just to continue doing what God has given me and inspired me to do, because nothing we can do without the inspiration of the Christ.
Amen.
And it's to continue to look out for those that do not have a voice or do not have the strength to move around to get things. It's like the mentally and retarded, the elderly, that need to be taken up. And many of our retired servicemen and women in Jamaica are really neglected. And with our organization, I would say thanks to Miss Barbara Crooks and Mr. Andrew Plummer for the great work they are doing in Jamaica to assist the program, to keep the program that we can help our communities, especially those that are in need. And this is my aim, to continue to serve, work within the community, and assist everyone that needs assistance in the best of my ability. And that's why we're calling out to the nation, to the diaspora, the Jamaicans, to support the initiative that we can help our brothers and sisters that is in need.
Great.
So that's what's next for me, to continue.
Thank you.
Like
Great job, Stafford. And so finally, there's a fun segment that before you go that you have to complete with me. I'd like one word answers only. So I'll call a word and you respond with a word. Are you ready?
Yes.
JDF.
Discipline, respectful.
You know what, Stafford? One word.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, I'm so pumped up.
Yes.
Respectful.
All righty. Next one, security.
Oh man, I have so many words.
Use one.
Protection.
All righty. Jamaica.
Loving.
Diaspora.
Inspirational.
Family.
Oh man, there's so much to say about my family. Oh Lord, I would say peaceful.
Success.
Calm.
And finally, Stafford Grant.
A volunteering person. Volunteer.
You know what, Stafford? You give me more. you gave me more than one, but I'll take it. Volunteerism is your streak. So that is
volunteer.
fine. You provided us with such valuable information. Stafford, we thank you so much. And if you could perhaps, with the consent of, your diaspora representative, Michelle Tullow, just send me some information so I can pass it on about what you're doing in Jamaica, and also so that I can speak with the CEO of Fit FM 96.7 in Jamaica, because this interview, they will hear this next week. So I would like to be able to communicate something to them. Thank you so much for joining me here, Stafford Grant, on the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. You certainly have us informed, and we'll be able to make informed decisions. Enjoy your Monday.
All right. Thank you a lot. Thanks for having me on, and God bless.
Blessings to you, too.
Thank you.
All righty. I gotta go. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Great interview with Stafford Grant. Thanks to you all. What would I do without you? I don't know. The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. This is Linkage Radio, your budding and buzzing station, 24/7, 365 days for the year. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. Thank you for joining me. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. And so they used to tell me that I walk boat too much, gone to people yard, gone to shop, gone all over the place as a picnic when I was growing up. And so when they found me, they would say, "Dark yourself up, go on up, gallon up." So I'm going to galloping and head on home. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. God bless and keep you. I'm looking forward to being back on Thursday to do it all over again for you right here on Inside the Zone with Lady D. Mwah. I'm out of here.
station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music.
New York, I introduced the best ice cream.